In the last few months, Instagram has completely changed the time you should be posting, the hashtags you should be using, the type of content you're creating, and the small tweaks you need to actually create in your content to ensure that your posts go viral, to ensure that you get more views, and to ensure that you get more followers. For a lot of you guys haven't been staying up to date with what updates you actually need to be making. So in this video, I'm going to share with you everything you need to do to increase both the amount of views and the amount of followers that you're seeing on Instagram right now by making small, easy tweaks to the content that you're currently creating so that you can start to see greater results. In fact, I just helped this creator get 20,000 followers in just 30 days, this creator 50,000 followers in just 30 days, and this creator over 100,000 followers in just 30 days. And the same exact thing can happen to you if you simply implement the tips that I share with you in this video. But I will warn you, if you skip just one part of this video, it's going to be the reason that you fail to get views or fail to get followers right now on Instagram. But before we dive into that, I need you to smash the subscribe button. If you want to grow quicker on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, I literally upload a video about how to grow on these platforms every single day. In addition to that, I created a free Instagram growth course that'll share with you things like how to turn your viewers into followers on Instagram, which unfortunately we're not going to have time to cover in this video. First and foremost, you need to make sure that you're actually creating the right content on Instagram. If you are still creating photo-based content on Instagram, stop doing that. You guys need to stop doing that. Instead of doing that, simply upload a photo as a reel and that'll actually get more views, that'll get more engagement than you creating a photo post. But you need to be creating reels on Instagram. In fact, you need to be creating reels that are of a certain topic and of a certain length that we're about to dive into. It's going to help you get more views. It's going to help you get more followers. You guys need to understand, the CEO of Instagram has literally come out and said that Instagram is no longer a photo app. Instagram is now a video app. And if you haven't noticed yet, Instagram Reels have their own feed. They show up on the regular feed. They show up on people's stories. They show up everywhere. So you need to make sure that you're focused on creating Reels content only right now. Because if you create any type of content, one, it's a complete waste of time. Two, only your followers are going to see it. And three, it is going to hurt the odds that you actually grow on Instagram, because if you're not uploading the content that Instagram wants you to be uploading, they're going to deprioritize your account, which is a huge mistake because Instagram's CEO has literally come out and said that they're trying to push small accounts on Instagram. If you have a small account right now, under 100,000 followers, it is way easier to grow than if you have over 100,000 followers. So please make sure you pay attention to the things that I share with you in this video, like the time you should be posting, how long your video should be, and even what your video should be about, because it's going to make a massive difference in how many followers you gain. Now, when it comes to the actual length of your videos, I would be creating content that is shorter. You need to understand, the Instagram algorithm is incredibly dumb right now. It's the same way basically that the TikTok algorithm was 3 or 4 years ago, or that the Instagram algorithm was a super long time ago. So all it's factoring for is watch time. It doesn't look at if your video is 5 seconds long, 10 seconds, 60 seconds. It doesn't look into how that factors in. It simply wants to see that people are completing your video 100%. So how are you able to do this really easily? Create shorter content. I'm not telling you though, create a 1 second video, a 2 second video. Your videos need to be at least 5 seconds long, and the shorter amount of time that you can tell a story in, the shortest post that you could actually make and still get the same point across, that is how short you should be creating your content. The second thing that you need to make sure that you're doing comes to the amount of times that you're actually posting on Instagram, and I see so many small creators mess this up. I would strongly suggest that you post no more than 4 times a day on Instagram. Don't post 5, don't post 6, don't post 7. And I'm talking about Reels here, I'm not talking about stories. You can upload a lot of stories as long as you're actually telling a story throughout that. It'll be totally fine. But if your story gets absolutely no engagement and nobody likes it, especially your followers, then I wouldn't recommend doing that, because when you try to do a brand post on your story or try to sell a product on your story, I try to sell anything on your story and people aren't engaged with it, well then guess what's going to happen? They're not going to buy that thing. They're not going to sign up for that brand, and then that brand is never going to give you a brand deal ever again. But that's that when it comes to stories. When it comes to your actual feed posts, like I said, I would make sure that you're uploading at least 1 to 2 times a day, at a maximum 4 times a day. The ideal spot is going to be 1 to 2 times a day. The reason being, not because we want you to crush yourself by creating a ton of content. The reason being is because if you want to be successful on Instagram, you have to show Instagram that you're being consistent, you're uploading content, especially you're uploading content that meets the criteria that I'm going to share with you in just a second. But the way that you're going to do that, and the way that you're actually going to get better at creating content, is by uploading more frequently. It's going to make you a better content creator. It's going to help build your relationship with Instagram. And ultimately, Instagram is going to be pushing out your posts. Now, please never delete a video if it flops on Instagram. You do not want to do this because of delayed explosions. If you don't know what delayed explosions are, your post could go viral, get 1 million views, 2 million, 10 million views a week later. 3 weeks later, even a month later, so you want to make sure that you do not delete your videos. On top of that, you need to make sure that you're reposting your best piece of content. I get so many questions about this all the time. They say, Rob, I can literally download a video and repost the same exact video on Instagram? Yes, you can, and I strongly suggest you do for videos that have done above average. That being said, you will want to take the watermark off when you do that. If you don't know how to take the watermark off of a video, leave a comment below and I will share with you how you can do that, and I'll even share a tool with you that will allow you to do it for free on as many videos as you want. Okay, so now that you know what to do when it actually comes to your content, you're probably wondering, Rob, what time should I be posting and what hashtag strategies should I be using? There are 2 different times you need to be posting on Instagram. The first is going to be the general best times to post. The second is going to be when your followers are online. If you have a lot of followers, I strongly suggest posting when your followers are online, because if your followers engage with something, Instagram is then going to find another audience for them to push it out to, and this is how your reels are going to do well. But if you don't have that because you don't have that many followers, or those times you've tested and they don't work for you anymore, I would post it these 3 times. The first one from 10 a.m. to noon, the second from 4 to 6 p.m., and then finally from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Now remember, this is going to be for your time zone, for where you are. You shouldn't be posting at these time zones in Africa. You shouldn't be posting at them in India. I don't know why you would do that, but you'd be surprised about the amount of comments that I get that say, Rob, what time zone should it be in? It should be whatever time zone the people that you're trying to target are in, basically your time zone for most of you. Now, when it comes to the hashtags that you guys are using, I see so many creators make so many mistakes about this. Before I can tell you the 3 best hashtag strategies for you to be implementing, I need to make sure that you're not making these simple mistakes that I see so many small creators make. 1, using irrelevant hashtags. 2, using small hashtags. 3, putting hashtags anywhere besides at the end of the description. Do not put them in the beginning. Do not replace words in your description with a hashtag. And please, for the love of God, do not put hashtags in your comment section. It is actually hurting you. I see so many people do this. I see people add other descriptions, fake comments. Stop doing stuff like this. You guys need to understand something. Instagram knows that you're doing this. Another thing that you need to make sure that you're not doing, do not delete ghost followers. I don't know who was saying that you should be doing this on Instagram. It is literally one of the worst things that you could do. You are showing Instagram that you don't want followers by deleting them, and then guess what happens? Instagram's not going to push out your content because Instagram doesn't think that you want followers, so I don't know why anybody would do that. The only argument that I've ever heard for this that makes a little bit of sense but is still idiotic is, Rob, we need to remove ghost followers to increase our engagement. But anybody that thinks that is an absolute moron. You want to know why? Because those are ghost followers. Nobody's on those accounts. They're not seeing your content, so there's no way for them to engage with it, so they're not even factored into your engagement situation. So please, stop doing that. It is hurting your account, it is stopping you from growing, and so many creators are making the mistake of deleting those people, and it's one of the worst things that you could do. So now that you know not to do that, please make sure that you're using the following 3 hashtag strategies. The first one, 3 to 4 hashtags. The second, 6 to 8 hashtags, and then finally 9 to 10 hashtags. Now that you know the hashtags you need to be using, how long your video should be, how often you should be uploading, and even what time you should be uploading, we need to get to the most important part of this video, which is that you're actually creating content that looks like the other content that has been successful on Instagram. The reason that you're not successful right now on Instagram is because you're not giving the Instagram algorithm what it wants. I just gave you 4 other things you need to make sure that you're doing. Now that you're doing those things right, you need to make sure that you're creating content that the audience that you're trying to reach is actually interested in. This means cutting out the blank space, adding a really good hook, throwing text on the screen to increase the amount of watch time that you're getting, throwing symbols on the screen to make sure that you increase the amount of watch time that you're getting, and actually hooking people in. I see this over and over again. So many creators think that they're hooking people in their video, but they're doing the exact opposite of that. If your video does not leave somebody wondering or asking why they need to continue watching the video in the first 3 seconds, then you do not have a hook. You could do this with text on the screen, you could do this with a camera angle, you could do it with what you're saying or your voiceover, but you cannot do it by telling people exactly what the video is about. If you say to them, I'm making pulled pork, they don't care. Or if you say to them, I made pulled pork, you need to tell them that you're gonna show them how to make the best pulled pork in the world. Or if you're doing something with fashion, or if you're doing something with crypto, or you're doing something with finance, all of these different niches, the same thing applies. You need to make somebody feel like they need to watch your video. You do this by breaking a loop that they already have in their head. For example, if you were to make a finance video and say, keeping your money in the bank is making you poor, and then explain interest rates to them and what a bank actually does with your money, this will allow you to break the frame of reference because so many people keep their money in the bank and they think they're doing the right thing because they're saving their money. but it turns out that they're not because you just made that video about it. You can do the same exact thing no matter what niche you're in, no matter what kind of content you're creating, and I strongly suggest you do that because it's going to increase your watch time, it's going to help you get more views, help you get more followers. That being said, if you want to get guaranteed more followers on Instagram, like all the creators that I share with you in this video, well then keep watching this video. All of that being said, if you want guaranteed growth on Instagram in 2022 or just in the next 30 days, you need to get into my mentorship program where I guarantee that I can help you grow on Instagram. In fact, I'm gonna tell you what to post, when to post, what hashtags to use to guarantee that you grow in the next 30 days. If you don't grow, I'm gonna give you your money back, 0 questions asked. Now, there are limited spots for this because there are so many people that wanna get into it, but I can only work with so many creators. So if you're interested, go to the link in the description. This is the same exact course that Tuvok 12 took to gain over 100,000 followers on Instagram. Av Moves took to gain over 1 million followers on Instagram. The Joel Magician took to gain over 500,000 followers on Instagram, and so many other creators. I'm telling you guys, the organic reach on Instagram is not going to last forever. If you want to take advantage of this, you want brands to pay you for your posts, you want to know what you should be posting, what hashtags to use, what time you should be posting, and again, guaranteed growth on Instagram. Nobody has ever offered this before. Nobody's ever going to be able to offer this, but I can offer this to you right now if you get into this very limited program. So please, if you're interested, sign up at the link in the description. If not, I strongly suggest you check out the next 2 videos I'm going to put up on the screen because they're the videos that YouTube thinks you should watch next. Thank you so much for watching.